Picture your code editor with a teammate living inside it, one that can read your whole project, write new files, and run commands in your terminal on its own. That is the promise of an autonomous coding agent, and Cline is one of the most popular open-source takes on the idea. It runs right inside Visual Studio Code, and here is the twist that keeps it trustworthy. It never edits a file or runs a command until you approve that exact step. Let's walk through what Cline actually is and how a single task moves through it. First, let us see what separates Cline from the autocomplete you may already use. This kind of assistant lives right at your cursor. It watches the few lines around where you're typing and suggests the next line or function, which is genuinely useful for speed. But it has no picture of your whole project. It cannot open new files by itself, and it certainly cannot run your tests or touch your terminal. You stay the one performing every actual step. Cline works at the level of a whole task instead. You describe a goal in plain language, and it reads across your files, forms a plan, and proposes the edits and commands needed to reach it. The crucial part is that every one of those actions is gated behind your approval, so the agent has real reach while you still hold the final say on each move. So how does a single Cline task actually unfold? Follow it one step at a time. First, Cline reads your request and gathers context. In its plan mode, it explores the relevant files, asks clarifying questions, and lays out an approach before changing anything. Nothing is written yet. This is where you and the agent agree on what should happen. So the work that follows aims at the right target rather than getting guessed at blindly. Once you switch it into act mode, Cline proposes its first concrete edit. It shows you a diff of exactly what it wants to add or change in a file, and then it waits. You can accept the change, reject it, or type feedback to steer it. Nothing lands in your code base until you approve, which keeps you in control of every line. After an edit is approved, Cline often needs to run something in your terminal, maybe installing a package or kicking off the build. It presents that exact command and again pauses for your go-ahead. You watch it execute, and Cline reads the output back, so a failing command or an error message immediately becomes part of what it reasons about next. Finally, Cline checks whether the task actually worked. It can inspect the command output, and with browser support built on computer use, it can even launch the app, click through it, and read the console for errors. If something is off, it loops back with another proposed fix, again waiting for your approval, until the goal is genuinely met. Strip it back, and 3 ideas define Cline. Every action Cline takes is gated behind you. It never edits a file or runs a shell command without first showing the exact diff or command and waiting for approval. This human-in-the-loop design is the whole point. It gives the agent broad reach across your project while keeping a person as the final check on each concrete step. Cline is open source and deliberately model agnostic. You bring your own key and point it at Anthropic, OpenAI, Google Gemini, or local models through runtimes like Alma. It also speaks the Model Context Protocol, so it can connect to external tools and even build new ones for itself, extending what a single task is able to reach. There are real trade-offs to accept here. Because it works step by step with your approval, Cline can feel slower than an agent that just runs unattended, and every model call spends tokens that Cline tracks as cost. It can still misread a code base or propose a wrong edit, which is exactly why that approval gate on each step matters so much. All right, let's lock in the essentials. Cline is an open-source autonomous coding agent that lives inside Visual Studio Code, reading your project, writing files, and running commands to complete whole tasks. Plan mode gathers context and lays out an approach, while act mode carries it out one approved edit or command at a time. Every file change and terminal command waits for your explicit approval, and browser testing runs on computer use, keeping a human in the loop throughout. Remember that it is model agnostic and speaks the model context protocol, trading a little speed and token cost for control you can actually trust. If watching AI agents get demystified like this is your thing, come explore the rest of what we have built at Standarity.com.